alcohol.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am the only Janet Lopez actor. Unfortunately, the other Janet Lopez beat me to IMDb, and so I am number 2. She's number 1, and she is a music supervisor.
So there was never a Janet Lopez that registered with SAG as an actress?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
That is unusual.
Well,
at least they don't have any IMDb credits.
The interesting thing is there's 25 Walter Hochbrueckners, so that's
it seems like it.
Yeah. So anyway, before we get started, I do have to say, and I'm ashamed to say, I really needed to wake up this morning, so I had our sponsor, and this is the last can I had, Ray's Energy Drink. I don't know if you guys like energy drinks. This is the best. You can't get this in stores. You can't get this in GNCs. I have a case on the way, and I drank my last one this morning. This was it. Galaxy Burst. Nicole will tell you, delicious.
Delicious. Mixes well with alcohol.
Yes, it does. And the best part, 0 calories, 0 carbs.
Wow.
0 crash. And 0 dies. And if you go to the description page on your podcast catcher or on YouTube, use our code, you get 15% off a case, and I recommend that. Nice. So, unfortunately, yeah.
I just gotta say, I was on a keto diet, and that's one of the hardest things to do is find something that has those kind of calories. Like
really?
Carbs. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's keto friendly.
It is
keto friendly. It's keto friendly.
Right.
So when you said that, I was thinking, oh, wow.
So I'm cheating and drinking Liquid Death water, and I've reached out to them before. So if they want to sponsor us, please go right ahead. Before we get started with these 2 stars, tell me about your evening, Nicole.
So I get to the gallery at 6 o'clock, and I go there quite often. It's one of my favorite places. And they have us waiting downstairs. Seal is upstairs with his fantastic new photography exhibit.
Seal, Kiss from a Rose, Seal, the singer. Seal.
And so then we go up there, and Seal is wearing like a tracksuit. I don't know who made it. It had a brand on it I'm not familiar with. He was just leisurely sitting there petting a dog. That was my first introduction to Seal.
Really? Because he's usually in his videos like in a nice suit with no shirt.
But he wasn't. He was wearing like a tracksuit.
I'll bet it's probably his brand. I would guess.
I think so too. It looked very comfortable. Like it looked like a very comfortable outfit. So.
Did you say hi to Seal?
I did. I didn't take a picture. I felt that'd be inappropriate because it's not the sort of place you bust out a selfie. You gotta have some class.
I understand. And how did Seal react to that?
He was very nice. I told him that the show was wonderful, and he was very gracious about it.
And how was the show? Now that you're talking to me and you're not talking to Seal, you don't have to kiss ass. How was it really?
It was nice. It was photography, and then there was art across the way by a different artist, and it was a double opening.
Okay, and his photography's good?
Yeah, his photography's good.
And the other artist, I would imagine, was pretty good.
Yes. I've never been to a bad show at the Leica Gallery. Like, that's where I met Nikki Sixx, so.
Right, and by the way, that... She's never invited me to a show at the gallery, but that's the way it goes.
I'll invite you to the next one.
Yes, that's okay. It's like yesterday. She's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to be late because I'm going to be hanging out with rock stars like Seal." So, Walter, when I say 6 Degrees of Shia LaBeouf, I want to get that out of the way.
Okay.
You were in a couple of pretty big blockbusters. One was XXX State of the Nation. We'll talk about that a little bit. But you were in Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf.
Yes, I was.
And how did that come about?
Well, I was working as just an extra, and they decided that they were going to make me a senator.
Cool. You have a very...
You have
that look, yeah.
A senatorial face.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I look like I'm in charge, I'm a boss man.
Yeah. Well, or either that or you look like you're corrupt. I'm not really sure what saying you have a senator. No, you look like one of those honest senators. I'm just kidding.
Yes, honest.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
You're honest senator.
Sure, I'll take the pen.
I'm sure there were at one time. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say Bernie Sanders, but you look much younger than him. So he's honest. So. Yeah. So, but you have an interesting story because you, along with Janet, were acting, and then you kind of stopped for a little bit, and then you picked it back up because you became a big video game designer.
And developer.
Wow.
And producer. I did it all. I designed a number of games, and I was able to produce a number of as well. Like Heroes of Might and Magic. It was the second most played game in the world.
Wow.
At the time we ended it.
That's great.
And we finished it. And then it's still going on. And in Russia, David Mullick, shout out to him, he actually took over after I left the company. and he became a teacher. And he was actually in Russia teaching them game design just recently, within the last couple of months or so. So he was having a really good time doing that.
And sadly enough, they're using that strategy to attack Ukraine. But that's
probably.
I'm kidding. It's a joke. Anyway, don't take what I say seriously. But it's fine. I don't want Putin to send like a KGB assassin in here to choke me out. So anyway, but I mean, you were when I say you were designing video games, this is like in the infancy. Like you designed Apple II games.
I did. I was
Apple II for you kids. And I barely remember this, was a computer like before the Mac.
Okay.
Like, and they had, in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
This is like pre-Stranger Things. This is like really, really far back. This is like Flock of Seagulls days. And you there was like Pong, and then to go through the history of video games, there's Pong, and then Atari and Pac-Man just was like a big, like that was the big explosion. And is this when you got into video games, when Atari was like big and all that?
Starting out, the industry was very new. Companies were springing up everywhere, and especially in the Valley, in San Fernando Valley.
Right, porn and video games.
Porn and video games at the same time.
Right.
Tell you. And there were even some porn video games.
Oh no!
So,
Oh
yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry. I know about.
Yeah.
I know about those. Yes. Yes.
It was really interesting. It was wild.
Did you ever work on any porn video games?
No, I never did. But I saw a few.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw some that were a little more hardcore than Leisure Suit Larry. That's for sure.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I worked on that. I actually did a conversion of that for another system.
Oh wow.
I did that on the Commodore, and I worked on another version for another system that died. It was the Panasonic.
Right.
And it never made it.
Oh, Panasonic did like a console for home?
Yeah, they did. They did a computer for home.
Oh wow!
It's unbelievable. It never took off.
Right.
Unfortunately, so.
And Janet, just so you know, because I'm sure you look befuddled, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners and viewers have no idea what Leisure Suit Larry is.
Yeah.
This was a game where a dorky guy wearing like a disco leisure suit from the 70s tries to hit on women.
What?
And it's a strategy game where you try to get a woman to have sex with you.
Oh,
that's
wow.
Yeah.
That's the whole premise of the show.
That's the game. That's the game, is to get Larry laid. This was a big video game on the home computer, really. And then they had Xbox. They had, it didn't get past the Xbox, really.
It's like the Sims, but like.
It's like the Sims, but yeah, it is kind of like the Sims.
Yeah, because you do get married there. You have kids. You build your house.
Yes, but they skipped the sex and they put it right into Leisure Suit Larry. But
right.
But what was that big Apple II game that you designed? I have it written down, but I can't read it. It's
Conquering Worlds. It was the first game I ever wrote. Was Conquering Worlds back in 1981.
How did you get the? We're all 29 here, but how did you get the idea for that?
Well,
Not yet. No.
I used to play a lot of Risk, with
the board
my
game,
friends and the board game. And I thought, what if you had...
I already explained Leisure Suit Larry. I'm not explaining Risk.
Okay.
No, go ahead. No, you played Risk as a kid. I played Risk. I love Risk.
Oh, I love the game.
Yeah.
And I thought, what if it was computerized? So the first time when I got my Apple, I went ahead and I said, maybe I can make something out of this. So I went ahead and I created the first game, and Datamos picked it up. I submitted it to a number of different companies at the time, and they called me up. In fact, they sent me a contract. They didn't even bother talking to me about it first.
Wow.
They sent me a contract, 20% royalty.
Nice.
I went, whoa, okay,
You're
I'm
like,
signing
all right.
this. I signed it. They flew me down because I was living in Seattle at the time, and they were in Chatsworth. And all they did was they say, hey, look, let's check this out. We want you to come and finish the game. We want you to add a few things.
Okay.
They had some sponsors they wanted me to put it within the game. I said, cool. All right, I'm ready for that. I came down here and they said, you know what? You're doing such a good job. We like what you've done. We like what you're doing. You're hired. We want you here. We want you to move down here. So they moved me down from Seattle to here.
And that's how you got to LA. And you designed other games up until the late 90s, and early 2000s, March Madness. And you may have played this, because I know I played this, the Shrek arcade game.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
If you ever been to a Chuck E. Cheese, they're there.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And but you were never striving to be an actor or a director or a writer, or you always were.
Well, it's interesting. I started off as an actor in high school. I got very much into it. I was into choir and all that good stuff. And I got into acting, and I won Best Actor in my senior year, for The Music Man, and because I was the lead in that.
Right.
And I decided that,
you have a very Music Man kind of look.
Yeah. I'm a music man. He's a what? He's a music man.
Well, what's the big song in Music Man? I don't know.
76 trombones.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole bunch.
Right.
Favorites.
Right.
But anyway, it was just one of those things where I had to make a living. So it's sort of like you can't really make it very easily in this biz. I mean, this is a very tough business to make.
Yeah, I'll just make 20% off one of the biggest selling video games on the market. They want me to help out on the NCAA March Madness. Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure, why not? Yeah, put the money in my pocket. I don't argue.
Yeah. But I was like, you must have made a mint on the Shrek video game, but you said you didn't.
No, I didn't. I was an employee at the time.
Yeah, you were on salary.
I was on salary, so I didn't get anything of the money, and of course, it made it big.
Right.
Wow. That's unfortunate.
Now, did the big Atari crash hurt you, or?
No, actually, it didn't.
Yeah, because you were doing video straight to computers.
Yeah, I was. So it didn't bother me much at all. In fact, in some ways, it streamlined it because it gave more opportunity for me to do other development. So, fine.
Cool.
I'll accept it. Yeah, that's cool. It's cool.
Right.
So anyway, after being a game programmer for 23 years and finally retiring after March Madness because it was enough. I mean, it was just getting too much. I worked 104 straight hours on that game.
Goodness.
Wow.
Okay, trying to get that done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for the Shrek Racer.
Oh, for Shrek, yeah.
Yeah, and then we had to meet the deadline, which was November the 1st. We don't get it out by November the 1st. It doesn't get out for the Christmas season, and there goes all that money down the drain.
Right.
And so the millions of dollars that they would have gotten income would not happen.
Right.
And so they tell you got to have it done by that day, or else you're fired.
Right.
Oh
type
my
of thing.
goodness!
Yeah,
Really?
it's pretty much
Was
on
that
the
bad?
line.
Yeah.
And the ironic thing is you quit.
Yeah, exactly. I figure, hey, after 104 hours of me putting my head on the desk and sleeping for 5 minutes and getting back up and just trying to barely function again, to get the thing out the door, I said, you know what? I'm getting too old for this nonsense. This is bullshit. Oh,
no, please.
Right.
We encourage profanity.
Oh, you
but
do?
Absolutely. But so you were staring at LeBron James or whoever. I don't know who was in college back then, but it was like, I can't look at LeBron James anymore. So, but that's a great story. Here's another great story because was it your mom or your dad that taught you how to be Selena?
Oh, that was. No, okay, my mom. That was my mom.
You almost were the young Selena in the Selena movie.
Yeah, they wanted me to play her, but my mom said no.
You're somebody that just falls into everything.
Yeah, actually, that has been happening where they reached out to me. That was actually what happened. We were I don't recall exactly, but I do remember them offering me and saying, "Hey, we would like to audition you for that role. We want you. You have that look." And my parents were not having it at the time. Like, they didn't want me to be an actor or a model. No.
But you were a model then.
I did become a model eventually. Yeah.
And how'd you stumble into that?
I was at a store, at a clothing fashion store, and a guy was there, and he's like, "Hey, I own a modeling agency. You have this look. I want you to, if you're willing to, you can come. Your mom can come if she can consent, and we'll teach you how to walk and everything. And we're gonna go ahead and take you and whatnot." That was like my dad's worst nightmare.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Now, Nicole, did anybody ever do that to you at Forever 21 or no?
But
okay.
I would have been a plus size model at that time.
Right, but so you stumbled into modeling, and you also stumbled into
acting,
a theater job for 2 years.
Yes, everything was like, it was just like that. So I did modeling for a while, traveled everywhere as a minor. And then acting too. I actually stumbled because...
And your dad must have been thrilled about that.
Well, at that point, it was more of my mom that was involved because I had moved away, so it was more of my mother. But yeah, I think she kind of just let go of and she just let me do it.
and just to give context, you're the child of immigrants.
Yes.
So they came into this country, and their beautiful child is swooped up by a modeling agency.
Yes. Yes.
Their worst nightmare.
Generation. Right. I know, right? Yeah, they're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so that actually I did a modeling contest at the mall. As you know, they have them everywhere.
They did then. Kids, there's a lot of Gen Y and millennials that are like, what? Mall? There was a modeling contest?
Totally
Yeah, they used to have these things.
I'm like, so then, so what happened, I ended up, the girl who threw it, she owned a company. She owned a talent agency, a magazine agency and all that. And her computer broke. So while we're having this little party for all the models, she's talking about this computer. Oh, my computer broke and blah, blah. And I looked at her, I go, oh, I can fix it. And she's like, what? Right. Here's this teenager telling her I can fix it. And so she just grabs, she's like, well, we need to talk. So she gave me her computer, her desktop. And I took it home. My dad, we take down computers. My whole family.
Oh, that's great.
Creates computers and laptops and stuff.
Another thing you two have in common.
Yeah. That's right. So it got fixed. I gave it back to her, and she said, I want to hire you for a job. So I was a minor now still, and she hired me as a administrative assistant at her talent agency.
Right.
And so now I'm introduced to the acting world, not just the modeling side of it. And at that point, so a lot of our actors didn't show up for an audition. And they were looking for a 2-year contract for theater, live theater, to travel all over the world. And you get paid for the traveling and everything.
Yeah.
So she goes, Janet, go and pretend like you're one of the students. So she goes, just go pretend.
Just as a joke.
No, because it makes it look like we have more students.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because a lot of them didn't show up.
Right.
So I go in there. I don't know what an audition is. I've never auditioned in my life. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm like, I'm just nervous. And I go in there and I'm like, hi. So he goes, okay, here's the script. Go ahead and read it. And I was thinking, oh no, he's going to find out that I'm not an actor. So I'm going to get caught. And so I just grabbed the paper and I started like, okay, just pretend that you're an actor, pretending to be an audition.
You're acting as an actor.
Yeah. And so this is all an act. And so I went ahead and pretended.
So
like
meta.
Yeah, I know. Pretend like I knew what I was doing. And as I got out, next thing you know, my boss calls me and she goes, Janet, we have a problem. I said, what is this? She goes, you got the audition. She goes, I don't want you to leave. I don't want you to quit.
Yeah, because her computer's going to be messed up. Yeah.
She goes, I kind of need you in the office. And so at that point, I was thinking, well, what are we going to do? And so I called the guy. I go, I can only do weekends. He goes, yeah, it's perfect. We just need you on the weekends. I go, oh, okay. So I can still keep both the jobs.
Very cool.
So that's where I started acting, like in live theater and stuff. And that developed into commercials and so forth.
Right. I mean, And this was after the whole Selena thing, I guess. But
that was way after, yeah.
Were you disappointed at that? Because you know that's going to be big.
I really wanted to audition for that and do it. And yeah, I know to this day I'm thinking like, wow. You just never know when you're going to.
Yeah, you could have had a
that's
totally
very rare.
life. Yeah.
Is your dad or your mom, or they're like, yeah, we were wrong. You should have been
She
Selena.
did say that after. Now that she's cool with it, she's like,
right.
I should have just said yeah to that lady.
Yeah.
But, and then the other, once same thing with, so I have placed my information online. There was this website for the city. And you can place yourself on there as, like, kind of list yourself up.
And this was Palm Springs?
Yeah, because Palm Springs is a very small area. It's a very small community. And so I went ahead and submitted myself as an actor. So I get this call out of nowhere, and you probably already know this.
I'm waiting to see the faces here.
So I get this call out of nowhere, and they're like, hi, we're traveling from Los Angeles, and we need some actors, so can you send us some actors? And, just send us, we need, how many do you need? I'm like, because I'm thinking they're talking about me. So I'm like, well, yeah, I can come, And they're like, no, we need around 50. And I'm thinking, like, I'm like, you want to audition 50 people? I'm like, I'm not an agent. I'm like, I'm not a talent agency. I'm an actor. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were a talent agency because I saw your listing. And so they're like, well, we can use you. Send us your headshot. Send us everything. And I'm like, okay, I'll text it to you because this is all like last minute. Right. I end up being their guide for the Palm Springs film. I help them find their costumes, where to go to the costumes. I help them find the bar.
Tell them what the film is.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
That one was Ready or Not.
Ready or Not.
That one's Ready or Not.
That was.
So they filmed it.
But you also stumbled into
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Oh yeah, that was a whole right. I know those. It's crazy.
Wow. She's she's
really
blessed.
wild.
She just steps into gold every time.
So I ended up on So I didn't know I was doing Indiana Jones because anybody who's worked on Indiana Jones knows this. They don't use the real name.
Yeah, you just thought you were auditioning just for another movie.
Yeah, No, I didn't even audition for that. They just got. It was like that, kind of like it was an act. Like
Yeah, that's what I thought. That, yeah, because you were
that was
pretending to be an agent, and then you pretended to be an actress.
The whole thing just was wild. Yeah, so I got connected with them, and they wanted to hire me as an actress. And I think they needed Peruvian women,
Okay.
Latino women. I'm Mexican, but you know they were looking for Peruvian-looking women.
Mm-hmm.
And they stumbled upon me. They called me. What was interesting was I didn't know what this movie was. It was called Untitled for so long
Right.
until I got on set.
Okay.
So
You didn't know it was Indiana Jones until you were there. And
No, and they were using a different name too. So even like in the sign outside of the where we're going for a fitting, like they had a different name on the outside.
Right.
So they always use like a different name. And so when I went in, it's not till I actually got in that I realized like it's Indiana Jones. And back then they didn't call it that. They had a different name as well. It was called the Crystal Skull fourth installment of the Crystal Skull, and then they changed it. So I think the name got changed once. So yeah, I didn't even know.
So you're like, oh, I'm in a movie. Yeah, that'd be cool, you know. And then it's the biggest movie of the year.
Yeah, I was so shocked. And
Steven Spielberg is telling you what to do, and Harrison Ford's hanging out.
I met Shia LaBeouf, Harrison Ford, Steven Spielberg, and it was my whole life was like, what is going on here? I had no idea.
That's funny. Now, can I get some? Was there any Shia LaBeouf third? Let's be honest, because I've had other actors that have worked with him, and they all say he's great.
Oh,
do you have any dirt on him?
I don't want to say too much.
That's a yes.
I would just say that I think it was earlier on in his career.
Right.
Than now. Maybe he obviously, you know how it is when you're young and you get all of a sudden you're in Transformers, you're in Indiana Jones. So I think that was definitely early on in his career, and he was very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of kept to himself for the most part, and was very, very close with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So I felt like Harrison Ford was almost like, I mean, I'm not sure, but
mentoring him.
Yeah, if anything, and they were very close in that way. I didn't really see, but Harrison Ford would talk to, he would talk to Steven Spielberg. He would be out there talking. He even spoke to me.
He's a regular guy.
Yeah, he spoke to me and whatnot. But Shia LaBeouf was quiet at the time on the set that I was on. He was kind of keeping to himself a lot.
Sure, I heard that there was some hijinks with you and Harrison Ford, and there was that's a great story.
Oh right,
you were afraid to talk to him, but
they tell you not to talk to them.
Right.
So as soon as I get on set, they tell you, hey, don't talk to Harrison Ford or
Shia LaBeouf or
mostly Harrison Ford. Don't talk to them, and I wanted to respect that. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to them. Like I don't need it. But there was a point where I wanted to talk to him so badly, where I was thinking, I gotta break that rule. But
there was some sort of donkey.
So they had animals on set.
Yeah.
And one of the animals was actually standing there, and one of my friend was playing. It's like I know Steven Spielberg handpicked my friend to be in this movie because he looks like a celebrity that passed away. That's one of Steven Spielberg's favorite. But anyways, they had an animal there, and he's just Harrison Ford ended up standing right there where I was.
Right.
And so I believe so long ago. I believe it was a donkey, if I remember correctly. Donkey or horse? No, it had to be a donkey. But anyways, he started going. And and my friend and I, because he's over here across from me, and Harrison Ford is in between both of us.
Right.
So I'm looking at him like, and I'm trying to say, tell him something. Look.
Yeah.
So now everybody's looking, everybody's seeing, and I'm like, and then I look at Harrison Ford, and I'm like, there's something down there. He's like, what? What are you trying to tell me? At that point, I was like, well, I guess I could talk to him. He's talking to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not a mute, So I was like,
yeah.
He looks down, he goes, and Harrison Ford this was shocking to me because I didn't realize he has a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
So he just goes like that, and he squats, and he's like, yeah, come on. Like he was giving birth or something.
That's funny.
So he started helping the animals, yeah, come on.
So no.
I just laughed. I thought that was so cool. I was thinking
Harrison Ford, the human laxative.
Right. He's just I think he really broke, when that tension that you have.
Well, I'm sure for him, it's he I know people tell people not to talk to him, but I mean, I'm sure he wants to. He wants to have some fun once in a while, and
especially if he talks to you, I think that's okay. But
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think.
Well, no. Actually, Steven Spielberg just sent me a text and said, "You're not on the movie anymore.
Okay,
You're cut out of the movie now."
Not talk to them at all. Okay, unless you guys are told to do so.
Well, another thing. Our friend and former guest, my friend, stand-up comedian Ian Salmon, was on Minority Report, and said that Steven Spielberg knew him by name and called him by name. Did he call you by name? Did he know you by name? Was it?
No, Steven Spielberg did not call me by name, but he did. I did talk to him though, like off. I mean, when we were not filming.
But he was totally cool and just
oh, Steven Spielberg, yeah, he's like he's the most down to earth person. He showed up on set and he just looked so casual, so relaxed. He is a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg is so sweet. I mean...
Oh, wait, he just texted me again and said, okay, you're fine now.
I just remember how down-to-earth and humble and sweet and calm. Like, I don't remember him screaming or, like, nothing like that. He was just so nice. I was shocked. I was shocked as to how humble he is. But, yeah, he came up...
That's what everybody tells me that meets him. That he's just a regular guy. He's really cool.
But he's such a great person. Like, he gives a good vibe. But he even gave me I think you know the story. I don't know if you know the story, but I was selling candles, and as he was walking by, as a joke, I was saying $1 for a candle, knowing he probably owns the whole place. But I was like, $1 for a candle, and he looked at me and goes, but I was saying it in Peruvian language,
right,
which is one sol like sun. So I say un sol, una vela, and he's like, what are you saying? And I said, oh, I'm selling candles. I was like, for $1. And he's like, oh, I'll buy one from you. And I was like, I'll play along. I was like, sure. I'm like, that's so cool. I saw the candle with Steven Spielberg. So I was like, okay. And so he gives me $1. And then he starts walking away because I'm sure this is in between takes.
Right.
So he's got to get to the next
He's got all
setup.
sorts of stuff.
Yeah, he has all sorts of things going on. I'm over here screaming. I start screaming. I'm like, wait, you forgot your candle. And he was like, it's okay. And then I go, oh my gosh, you forgot your $1. You forgot your $1. He goes, keep it, like just keep it.
Oh, wow.
And I was thinking, where am I going to put this? Where am I going to put this? Because they dress you up in their clothes, and I have layers.
You don't have pockets.
No, you have no pockets, and you have layers and layers. I had layers and layers of clothes. I mean, I had just a bunch of layers. And I'm going, oh my God, where am I going to put it? And I think it was my friend across, or somebody was like, I was like, oh yeah. I said, we got to keep it in there. I go, I should have got his little, I was thinking all kinds of stuff. I got to keep the $1. And then, and he left, and I thought he was so sweet. I thought, wow, he is like the sweetest person ever.
Well, you start at the top, like the biggest director in Hollywood.
Yeah. He's just,
I mean, the set that we were on, because we acted together, was hardly a Steven Spielberg production. It was fun, but
it was definitely fun.
It's a different type of scale.
Right.
They built a whole city for you, and we were in a small studio, like in a jail cell.
Oh right, we were. That was amazing. I didn't recognize you because you didn't have your uniform on. Remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. You looked at me at the premiere. You're like, oh my God. You're like, you're not scary anymore.
Yeah. In the movie that we were in, I was a sail. I had my little jumpsuit. Like,
prison jumpsuit. Yeah.
Prison, and he had his prison outfit.
I was the guard.
He was the guard, so I didn't recognize him about his uniform. But for the Steven Spielberg, it was a whole set built specifically that was taking place in Peru. So it was like a whole set. You walk in there, 1 minute you're here, and next thing you know, you're in Peru.
Right.
That's cool.
The one, and I'll get right back to you, Walt. But the one other thing about the Indiana Jones thing that I wanted to just get right, they put you on a bus in Palm Springs and drove you to Fresno.
No, from here, from LA.
So it was like a 4-hour bus ride?
It was a long drive. Yeah, it was long. And it was long. I just remember it was forever. And then I got off and I just felt like we were in the middle of nowhere. Right. And I thought, wherever they're taking us, I was like, this is where...
And when you were on the bus, did you know it was Indiana Jones?
At that point, yeah. It was after I got in that we realized what it was.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, there'd be revolting on the bus. There'll be riots. It's like, I'm not driving 4 hours for just some movie. Yeah. Oh, Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'll do that. Sure. Like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, the whole ride was interesting. And we were all just sitting there, and we had already gone through fitting, I believe, already. So,
right.
Yeah.
And Walt kind of started at the top, too. And because because after you got out of the game community, you were in the movie XXX State of the Nation.
Yeah.
They won without Vin Diesel. They took out Vin Diesel and put you in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kind of a lateral move. But no, this is the one Ice Cube was in the sequel.
Yeah.
And I saw it a long time ago. But how did you get that?
Just sheer luck again. I was just in the right place at the right time. It just what happens, I got my SAG card based on the fact they needed my car. I had a Mustang convertible at the time.
Nice.
And I had parked on New York Street where we were doing the filming. And they came back and they said, well, we're going to have to redo this scene because there's some problems. I said, fine, okay. So they had me come back the next couple of days. And that's how I got my SAG card, because I was working as an extra at the time.
Wow.
And that bumped me from there. So it just sort of like...
So you just came in for an extra job, and then you became a real actor.
Yeah.
And
they do that.
I took advantage of it.
They bump you up. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
I thought you played a senator again. I didn't know what was going on.
So,
But how was that set?
that set was wild. It was wild. I got to see all the machinations of everything. Everything that was going on in the set. Everything getting blown up and everything. Oh, it was so cool.
Well, I can imagine. I mean, that's a pretty wild action movie. As was Eagle Eye.
Yeah, Eagle Eye.
So Eagle Eye was like right after that.
Yeah, it was right after that.
Yeah. So Ice Cube Ice Cube didn't mess with you, did he?
No, I didn't have a chance to interact with them.
Yeah.
I was told the same thing.
Don't talk to Ice Cube.
Don't talk to anybody.
Yeah, they tell you that.
Yeah,
Don't
they
talk
get real
to them.
strict about it because they're afraid you might disrupt their thought process. Okay,
Right.
I can understand it.
Well,
So I would have the discipline enough to be able to step back and say, yeah, you're right. I'm cool.
if you disrupt Ice Cube, he might put a cap in your ass. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And Willem Dafoe, I think, was in that. There was a bunch of people in that. Like it didn't do that well, but it was. I remember it wasn't bad. Especially the guy in the Mustang was pretty good. But you've been in some interesting movies since, and I didn't know I was pregnant. Now tell me about that, because I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay.
I have seen that. Is that TV show, right?
Yeah, I was. They made me a surgeon. I was basically.
You have a good look for a surgeon.
Yeah,
Senator, surgeon.
Surgeon, doctor.
You have that respectable older man look.
Right.
Yeah.
Little do they know me.
Little do they know you.
You haven't been in any Viagra commercials, have you?
Not yet.
Oh, but you're willing to do so.
I
I'm
won't
willing.
answer that
I'm willing.
question.
Yeah, let's make sure that the sponsors know that. Yeah, I'm willing to do it.
And by the way, it's probably a good time to say that we're also sponsored by Eddie by Giddy, which is an ED device. If you go to the description here and in our YouTube channel, Eddie by Giddy, and it works. I've seen the reviews, and we have a code DarkMark. It gives you 20% off, and no problems. Some people, they use it all the time. Some people, they use it once, and that's cured. But yeah, I would love to see an Eddie by Giddy commercial or a Viagra commercial. But so Eagle Eye, you played a senator, right?
Yeah, I played the senator.
Now, do you have any Shia LaBeouf horror stories?
No, unfortunately, I don't. Well, except one.
Everybody's got one.
You only got one. Well, it's really not that big of a story. I mean, I was basically put up in a particular area after I was doing the senator thing. They wanted me to do some other work where I was in the gallery watching what's going on.
Right.
And they were doing some scenes, and I can't remember the name of the director. Okay, but for some reason, I was asked a question by one of the actors, and so of course I'm going to respond. I'm not going to sit there. And I turned and I started chatting with him very quietly, very softly. And the next thing I know, the director's glaring at me like, "You're disrupting my scene." Okay, and I'm going, "Okay." He says, "You out now."
Oh, you?
And so they basically put me back into the holding area where I started chatting with the people saying, "What happened? What happened?"
Yeah.
And I never knew. I guess I disrupted him. Either he heard me, and
You mean Shia?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Shia got you banned from the set?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I can't say that.
But the director's the one that actually went up to you.
Yeah.
But it could have been him.
Yeah,
he's a troublemaker. But yeah. Well, so I didn't know I was pregnant. Now you saw that. What is that?
Yeah. So I didn't know I was pregnant. I'm kidding. there's women that are pregnant.
No, I'm familiar. Yes.
Oh yeah, that don't know they're pregnant and then they give birth.
Oh.
And so what happens is these stories are all different. So they do reenactments. And they hire actors.
Oh, it's like a semi-reality show. Okay.
Yeah.
Very much.
So you're sitting there going, you have to give them the bad news, like.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
The one when I did this particular scene, there was a woman who was about to give birth, and I'm sitting there just saying, "It's going to be okay. You just have to push. It's going to be fine. It's going to come out all right. Just relax. Just try and relax." And so they used my soft voice for this show in particular. And I have that episode somewhere at home. I taped that.
Right.
Yeah,
and she screaming and going hysterical.
Yeah, and she's acting.
She's giving birth.
She's giving birth.
Yeah.
So she's doing her best job.
And also, she wasn't expecting to be giving birth. So
You're right.
That's
Exactly.
like a
It's
horror
big surprise. It's like,
Yeah.
That sounds like a horror to me too.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. You were in those, but you've been in a couple of notable TV shows yourself. Dr. Phil.
Oh yeah.
You're the second guest we've had on that's been on Dr. Phil. And that was a surprise to your boyfriend, apparently, at the time.
Yes. Are you doing your research? Yes. Yeah. So I was dating. No. So I was dating this guy.
Please welcome Janet Lopez.
Right. I was dating this guy, and what was going on was I had a reoccurring dream. I just wouldn't stop. And it just kept happening every night while I was dating another guy.
You were dreaming about one guy when you were dating another guy.
Yeah, I was dreaming about my ex. Yeah, I was already moved on. Obviously, I was dating
Your subconscious would
but
disagree.
for some reason, this dream, in this dream, it was repetitive, and it was my ex. And when I finally would see him in the dream, he would come up to me and he would try to say something to me. But I would always wake up right before he said something. So I didn't know what was the message or what he was trying to convey to me. But it was like he was reaching out to me, but it would not, the message would not come through, I guess. So then...
Don't trust what Dr. Phil says.
I know, right? So then I ended up with Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil could solve this mystery. No, he had a special going on and they were interested in my story. So they invited me over.
But this is another, audition. I mean, it's really it's people go up for that like they go up for a regular audition.
It's like a regular audition. Yeah.
I mean, it's not, you're not necessarily acting, but you kind of are.
Yeah. So you do your audition. Yeah, you have to go through your whole story and everything. So my ex came along. My current boyfriend came along at the time.
Right.
I say ex because he's not my boyfriend now, but
everybody's an ex.
Yeah.
At this point.
So the one that I was dating came with me, and they brought. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. Dr. Phil, I thought Dr. Phil was just going to talk to me about this and that's it. But apparently they had these specialists that were going to give me advice. So they bring these specialists. I think they made things worse. Because
you don't say.
My current boyfriend wasn't really that insecure until after the show. Because they started bringing up, oh, maybe you're still thinking about him. Or maybe you're still liking him. And whatever, all these things. And I was thinking... Yeah, they're not helping.
You think your girlfriend may be in love with her ex-boyfriend?
Yes, my current boyfriend was like, what? Wait, I think he was regretting even showing up at the time. And then how...
I'm not a Dr. Phil fan.
Phil was trying to I don't know. The whole thing was really weird. At the end, the girl told me to, the woman specialist at the end and finally says, you know what? You gotta ask him what he wants when you finally see this guy in your dream.
Right.
And you just gotta say, what do you want?
and the irony is the response will be, catch me outside, how about that? But but you were also on Tattoo Nightmares.
Yes, as a gangsta.
As a gangsta. Now, did you really have a tattoo that was a nightmare?
No, I was a reenactment. Just like that. It was just the same show, similar concept, I didn't know I was pregnant. So
what was the nightmare tattoo that they said you had?
So I was actually one of the girls who was a friend of the girl who got the tattoo.
Oh, okay.
So, and the girl jumps out of the tree and I'm like, this is a whole thing. I was playing there's a whole stunt where this girl falls out of the tree. And she falls on me, whatever. It was really weird. But I play,
it's a big roundabout way to get to a tattoo nightmare.
Yes. Yes. Tattoo Night. Have you ever seen the show?
No.
Okay. There's always these outrageous stories as to how they got the tattoo. Whether they got jumped and then that motivated them to like go get a tattoo or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was playing a gang member, a gangster Chola girl.
Yeah.
So they did that
And by the way, you were in Attack of the 50-foot Chola.
Yes, 30-foot Chola.
30-foot Chola. Were you the 30-foot Chola?
No, everybody thinks I am. Actually, it was funny. Everybody thinks I am. No, but I am the. I don't even know anymore. I say I'm the antagonist, but I'm actually like the protagonist.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like you'll be rooting for me.
You're the one that tells her not to get the tattoo, and she gets the tattoo.
Well, not in Attack of the Chola, but in this one, no, I was pretty crazy in the Tattoo Diver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty crazy in that one. But in Attack of the 30 Chola, I feel like I was hired as an antagonist. But like in my perspective, I'm totally the protagonist.
Right.
Like I am the innocent one.
Well, Walter will tell you, when you play a villain, you got to be, and you haven't played too many villains, but you got to see it from your side. Like, and like whatever role you're playing, it's from your perspective. So if you're playing a villain, it's got to be from your perspective, right?
Oh yes, definitely. And I have played the villain before.
Oh, have you?
Fun. Oh yeah.
Were you a villain in White Slaves of K-Town?
No, in that one, that was just basically, a cameo. I mean, I just walked in, made some remarks, and that was it.
It was.
I didn't get to play much in that one.
Right.
That's a crazy title.
Well, it was. See, the thing is, Nicole lives in K-Town, so I thought it was a documentary, like based on your true story.
I don't even know what White Slaves of K-Town means. What does that mean?
I know. I'm still questioning that part.
Walter, what is White Slaves? What do White Slaves in K-Town mean?
Well, it looks like there's a whole bunch of slaves, and they are in.
Koreans are enslaving white people?
Yeah, they're basically
Koreans?
enslaving them.
Yeah, well, K-Town is Koreatown.
And they set up poorhouses, and
I guess I don't know. Nicole, can you back this up?
I have no idea about this part of Koreatown history.
Right.
I don't feel enslaved.
I'm thinking this wasn't based on a true story. No. Because I don't know. It's just you got. I mean, the other. You were in a movie. Now this is. Brace yourself, Janet.
Oh no.
Brace yourself, because you played a Peruvian and you're Mexican.
Yes.
But you played a guy named Serrano. In Unusual Suspects. You played a Latin man in Unusual Suspects.
Oh my god!
And that's when I got.
I mean, you could
evil. I killed 3 people there, so it was
there
really fun.
So they couldn't find any Latin actors. They slapped a mustache on you. I mean, good for you. You got the role, but I got to be honest. I saw your reel and I really liked it. That one.
Did they spray? I guess I have a question. Did they spray paint your hair too, or no?
Oh no, that was my hair.
It was a while ago, and you had darker hair.
Yeah, I had darker hair. Now I'm grayed.
Are you feel good about that?
Oh sure, why not?
Silver fox kind of thing.
I like that.
Yeah. So, cool. But I mean, when they said, "Oh, we want you to play Serrano,"
I thought, "Wow, juicy!" That's the first thing I thought of. All right, I get to be in the villain for a change. I'm always playing the nice guy, the doctor, the lawyer. I'm always somebody who's helpful and nice and kind. And this is a chance for me to be evil. So it's just a blast. It was a blast. I really enjoyed it. Ever since then, the last couple of movies I've been on was Love Carries, which is a movie I wrote and directed and starred in. I was the bad guy in that. And
you're definitely the bad guy in the Paradise Motel.
But I get killed in this one. So, I've been killed in a number of movies.
You got killed in Unusual Suspects or Love Carries?
Love Carries? No, Love Carries, I die. I don't get killed, but I just die. I don't commit suicide or anything like that, but I'm on the verge of it. I drank myself to death, in essence, so I guess I do.
Now you wrote this. Is this based on your personal experience?
No, not at all. Just total fabrication. It was one of those things where I wrote the story overnight. It was like 2:00 in the morning. I couldn't sleep. Got up and just said, you know what? I'm inspired. I used to write a lot of short stories when I was much younger.
Right.
And I just started typing out something. And the next thing I knew, 2.5 hours later, I had a script.
Okay.
So I went, oh, wow. Okay, cool. I added a couple of more scenes to it to bold it out a little bit more so it had some more function to it. But for the most part, it was there. And
inspiration just took hold.
Inspiration. You never know when it's going to strike you. And that's why I've always encouraged actors and directors and writers, just do your thing. Just don't be afraid. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You got nothing to lose.
Mm.
Okay? Just take the time and energy and don't be afraid. I mean, everyone, they are sort of afraid to move forward because they're fearful things are not going to work out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't do it, it's not going to work out anyway.
Yeah.
So you might as well do it.
Right. I mean, you've had so many careers, and so was that the first screenplay that was filmed, or?
Yeah, that was my first one.
Right.
Love Carries.
And what prompted you to say, you know what, I'm going to direct this myself? Besides, Spielberg was busy with Jen, but yeah.
Exactly. I couldn't get in touch with him. He kept dotting my phone calls and he wouldn't take them. So I figured, okay, fine. That's what you're going to do to me, Steve. This is what I'm going to have to do, on my own. No, I wanted to get hired. I was having a lot of problems trying to get work as an actor.
But it comes and goes.
Comes and goes, right. It's sporadic at best.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just felt, I used to write, so why don't I write something? And so I wrote that script.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of it, as they say, is history. I mean, it's now on Prime Video.
It's great.
So
I'll check it out.
Yeah. So is.
I should have checked it out before the show, but I'll check it out now.
Mark's been busy.
I've been busy.
Yeah,
I got a few things going on.
Exactly.
But it's definitely now. What is the plot of Love Carries?
Love Carries is that an older man marries a younger woman in the hopes that she can cure him. He's got a cancer.
Oh.
Okay, but it's not. It's only alluded to, but it's never expressed.
Right.
And it just so happens that she's going to leave him, and he decides that he's going to stop her from leaving. And then he hits her, and she falls down. And the next thing you know, you're guessing, did he kill her? Is she dead? Is she alive? What's going on? Did she leave? And then the cops come, of course, and they're looking for her. And they don't find her. Okay, and the last scene is he's burying everything that she owned, that he had still. He buries it in the backyard. Okay, and he throws this ring down.
It's getting very dark.
Yeah, it's very dark. And he throws this ring down saying, goodbye, honey, I miss you, I'm sorry, kind of thing. And so the audience is believing that she's dead and she's buried in that pile in the back, okay? Anyway, the cops finally do unearth it and all that and discover that there's nothing there, it was just her stuff.
Right.
Okay, meanwhile, the last scene of the movie is that she's on the beach with the detective. I'm sorry, the deputy.
Oh.
And
She's already moved on.
Yeah.
She's already gone. She stole his money and she's off, in Jamaica.
She's out there.
But did she cure his cancer? That's what I want to know.
Nope, he dies.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Wow, this sounds. Is this a Hallmark movie? What it was?
Yeah, definitely a Hallmark
It went from like a horror film to
Yeah.
like a Hallmark.
But
Exactly.
it sounds like an interesting psychological thriller. I'm sure there's more to it. I definitely want to check it out.
Lifetime.
It's very well. Speaking
I'd love to see it there.
and speaking, you were saying, this is Nicole. I'm the master of horrible segues.
Sometimes.
Watch this.
Okay.
You're saying how the character hits his wife.
Yeah.
You used to be a boxer.
Oh gosh.
Were you a professional boxer?
So I was a ring girl first,
Oh, okay.
and then I started training and became a boxer after that. So wait, it's backwards. Sorry.
I was gonna say I thought it was
It's backwards.
what I've heard is
I started boxing first. So what happened was I went to a boxing club. I've been going to boxing clubs since I was young, and so I did martial arts and stuff like that. But then when I moved, I started at a boxing club.
Mm-hmm.
They had ring girls,
Right.
and so they were like, "Hey, you should be a ring girl. Like, come over here boxing."
Yeah.
And they're like, "You should be a ring girl." And I was thinking, "Yeah, okay, I'll go try out. I'll try out to be a ring girl."
Right.
Wasn't my thing, but I'll do it.
Right.
And so I ended up transitioning from that to being a ring girl, and I never went back to boxing.
But you must have been good because your face isn't beat up.
I was pretty good back then.
I was gonna say martial arts too. Like
I like more. I like boxing, but I like martial arts more.
Right. And what type of martial arts do you practice?
Taekwondo.
Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Okay. Be careful, Walt.
I'm not going to mess with you.
Yeah. Don't.
I love Taekwondo.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think. Taekwondo. It's tell me is it punching, kicking, throwing?
Yeah, we do the blocking. It's mostly kicks.
Okay.
We do blockings and then
So you know how to hit for the boxing,
I
and you know how to
hit
kick
because of boxing.
and you know how to kick with
Because of
Taekwondo. Taekwondo.
Yeah, so together is a great combination. It's
Right.
helped me a lot. It's like,
But you never use it in a movie though. Wait, you were in Kung Fu Assassins.
Did I use it there? I know I was an assassin, but I never used my martial arts in that one.
Have you ever used your martial arts in a movie?
Recently.
Oh, really?
I
Tell
was
me
in a
about
movie
it.
called Defunct Superheroes.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I know, it's Defunct.
Defunct Superheroes. Was Ice Cube in this?
No, but I played one of the girls, and I was finally able to use some kind of martial arts.
Oh, good.
That's cool.
Good.
Yeah.
On the Defunct Superheroes.
Yeah, it's a brand new. We just finished it this year.
Okay.
I just finished it.
So I guess it's a play on defunct superheroes, and these are superheroes that are no longer super.
You'll see.
I'll see.
Yeah. But I was able to use it there. I would love to do more martial arts stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And you were in Sex in the Future.
Yes.
Wait. And you play a robot.
I do play a robot.
A sex robot?
Yes.
Mm.
So when people think of that, they think like really like naughty, but it's actually very nerdy.
So you play a nerdy
it's
sex
a very
robot.
geeky. No, it's kind of like a geeky, nerdy script, type of movie.
No, I get it.
Yeah, where this guy, he's like royalty, he's wealthy, and he ends up coming to the United States, and his dad just doesn't seem like, it's almost like he's not gonna go anywhere.
Right.
But he ends up meeting the Uber driver. I mean, you gotta watch it, and then
it sounds.
The guy starts talking about how he has this whole concept about robots, and it's gonna make a lot of money. It's gonna be a big thing. He needs an investor.
Right.
Here's this rich guy who's a prince sitting there going, I'm going to show everybody, that I'm going to... So it's kind of like that. And then... So it's a very geeky and nerdy type of movie type. So it's not... I don't think it has any real nudity or anything like that.
No, I didn't. I didn't mean to imply.
Oh, no, it's okay. And then, so when they're making the dolls, I'm one of the especially, like... When they're introduced the dolls for the first time, I'm one of those dolls.
Oh, okay.
Like one of those models type.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have different models. Yeah.
There's something else on your IMDb that's even more embarrassing, and I hasten to ask what it even is.
What is it? Oh no.
Going to the bathroom.
What?
There's something called going to the bathroom.
No.
It says that you're in it. I don't know. It's like a short that's called Going to the Bathroom.
Wait, are you sure?
It's on your IMDb.
I don't know.
Maybe it was changed the title, but I was like, wait a second, what is this?
No, that's a good one. I've never...
You check your IMDb. You might want to scratch
they
that
might
one.
have given that credit to me when it was meant for somebody else. I don't know.
It might be another Janet
Lopez actor.
There's so many other Janet Lopez.
I know, right? No, I don't recall that one.
Yeah.
But that would be a funny movie.
I swear it's on your IMDb. I don't know what it is, but geez, I hasten to even imagine. But
yeah, I don't know.
And it's supposed to be a short too, so I don't even know. But
and it was in English.
I didn't watch Going to the Bathroom.
You guys, I'm curious now. You got to Google Janet Lopez on.
Just go on IMDb. Yeah, go on IMDb, and I'm telling you, it's there.
Okay.
But I think I'd rather watch Walter go to the bathroom, but I don't know what's.
No.
I'm sure Walter would rather have that too. But now, you've become a bit of a mogul in your day. You own a studio now.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I got my own studio. It's Spheroid Productions.
Spheroid Productions. And you have an actual working studio.
Yeah.
And how did that come about?
That came about, again, I couldn't find work as an actor. So I just said, you know what?
I'll build my own studio.
He's like, I'm going to make my own movie. And I'm going to build my own studio, and I'm going to be Steven Spielberg.
That's right. I'm going to beat him at his own game. No,
right.
No, I look up to him. I admire him.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
he's definitely admiring.
He's phenomenal.
Right, of course.
He really is.
Of
He's
course.
such a nice guy.
Of course.
He is.
So,
have you met him?
I have not met him.
Okay.
I interacted with him indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on a number of sets with him where he does recognize me, but he doesn't say, hi, Walt, or anything like that.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things, you keep your mouth shut, and you nod, and you smile. And,
Right.
No, wait a second. What set were you on with Steven Spielberg?
Oh, boy. It was The Aviator.
As an extra? Or?
I was an extra on it, but I was what you would call a featured extra.
Okay.
It just happens there was one scene where I'm interacting. We were watching DiCaprio come walking up to the camera, and I'm interacting with him.
Right,
okay?
Just like whispering something to him or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a casual thing, and he ended up directing us, particularly. And
wasn't that Scorsese?
This is a funny story.
Wasn't that Scorsese?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Scorsese.
Yeah. So I'm
Right.
sorry. I didn't mean to mix up great directors, but
Yeah, they're both great.
yeah. So but you were in The Aviator. That's great.
Yeah. And it just so happens that DiCaprio finally, after the 17th take, he said, "Do you think we have enough takes on this?" And he says, "Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, let's moving on."
He said it to you or said it to Scorsese?
No, you said it to Scorsese.
He was like, "Walt, do you think we had enough?"
Yeah, we had enough for you.
Now, is Scorsese as coked out mad as he seems on interviews?
No, not at all. He's really.
Here's what you want to do.
No, he's pretty cool.
He's pretty nice.
I was really surprised because I've always tried to watch the directors and other people behind the camera,
right?
Be able to get an idea of what they're doing, so I can apply it to what I'm trying to get done,
right?
Okay, and so it helped me a lot because when I directed, Love Carries.
She just looked at her IMDb and saw that going through the bathroom is on it.
It's there.
It's there. So I'm not telling anything out of school. So
I'm okay. It's on there, but you know what? I think a lot of people want me to work with them, maybe, and they just like hope that it's like one of those.
That's the worst way to get you to work with them is to make up a credit that going to the bathroom would.
Yeah. I'm like, who is this? Have you ever seen that rumored? Have you ever go on IMDb and you see somebody's like a movie maybe in development or in it'll say rumor in parentheses, like rumored that this person's in it.
There's a rumor that Janet Lopez goes to the bathroom. It hasn't been confirmed.
There.
That's it.
And it's rumored that I'm going to be cast. Yeah, apparently I'm rumored to be cast in that.
Okay.
To be discussed.
Exactly. Well, we could dispel that rumor. So, from going to the bathroom to Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, when Leonardo DiCaprio is facing you, it must be like looking in a mirror, I would imagine.
Well, I look a little bit like him, but no, he's better looking than I am.
Yeah.
So I have to say
kind of reminds me of the actor. Oh my gosh, why can't I draw blank? He's like Hannibal. Is it Hannibal? No.
Anthony Hopkins?
Yeah.
No, not Anthony. Jeez.
No.
I'm trying to think. Angelina Jolie's father.
John Voight?
John Voight.
Yeah,
you're
a little bit John Voight. Sure, I can see that. Yeah.
I met him actually. I met him on set. And he came up to me and said, "You look like me."
Was that?
Really?
I thought it was funny.
Was that Triple X?
We chatted for about 10 minutes or so.
Was that Triple X? Or what movie was that?
No, that was a TV show that he was doing at the time.
So John Voight looked at you and said, "Well,
you could be his stand-in or his."
Yeah, except he's taller than I am, by about 2 inches.
Oh, that's not much.
Yeah.
But he's a handsome guy.
Now, if I put lifts on, I could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
But he's a handsome guy in his day. He still is.
Well, yeah, he's lost a little bit of it, as he's gotten older.
Right. So you're better looking than John Voight.
I am now.
He's like, yes.
But the latest project from your studios. Now, how big, how vast are your studios? Like what? Because I know that you have a website and people can rent your studio for certain things. What would they be able to do at your studio?
Well, I'd like to work on commercials because they're quick and dirty and they require, accuracy but speed. I mean, that's one of the things that commercials really, give to you.
I love commercials.
They're
great. Yeah, they give us.
Janet started in commercials. She's been in many commercials.
Yes, I love commercials because they pay the bills.
Yeah,
that's how we pay the bills. Yeah, commercials.
Yeah. What was the favorite commercial that you were in, Janet?
I think I did a sad commercial with Estrella, the drink.
Okay.
It's like an alcoholic drink.
Right.
And I like that commercial because they've added a lot of Mexican culture into it.
That's great.
So that was one of my favorites.
Spanish dialogue, I would assume.
Or
was it English language, or did they do both?
They might have done that one in English. Sometimes I can't tell the difference because I have me speaking Spanish, thinking, you know what I mean? Like
no, because I know I see sometimes they have communications that are in English and Spanish with the same actors.
No, you're right. They do that.
Right.
I think that one might have been in Spanish. No, English. It was in English.
Okay.
Just remembered. It's English.
Right.
100%.
And have you? What commercials have you been in that were?
Oh boy, I've been in. Let's see. There was a bottled water commercial that I was in. I didn't make it. I mean, it hit and miss.
Really?
Quickly. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. There were several others I was in, but
you still get
you filmed the bottled water commercial and then the company went out of business or something?
It just essentially went out of business.
Oh wow!
Promoted it. They never did anything with it. So
but so you guys know, even if you do a commercial, like let's say you film a commercial and that's not the case, but you still film it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always make it till the end. So,
Right.
like, they'll even edit it and everything, and you'll get paid, but you just never see it on air. So you'll still get paid.
As long as the checks cash.
Yes.
So
yeah, exactly.
So you want to? So your studio is ready for commercials.
Yeah, pretty much so.
Yeah?
I'm ready to do that. I'm we've done a couple of short films. I did the Sins of the ... which was another film similar to Love Carries.
Sins of the ... Did you write this?
Yeah, I wrote that as well.
Okay, let's hear this plot.
Right.
Okay.
Sins of the ...
What goes on?
It's basically Love Carries, but it had a different ending to it.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a pattern here. And are you married?
I am.
Yeah, right.
You are, because I'm sensing a pattern here.
Vera Taylor.
And I'm not saying that real life crosses over, but Paradise Motel, you also play an abusive husband.
That's right. I do.
And you wrote that too.
I wrote that as well.
You're getting it all out on paper rather
very-
than getting it all out on your wife, I'm assuming.
There you go. See? You analyzed
He's
it
living
properly.
his dream.
He's living his dream of kicking the shit out of his wife.
There you go. No. She's a wonderful lady.
I'm
she's,
kidding, of
She's also
course.
an actor as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She is.
What has she been in?
Oh, she's been in a whole bunch. In fact, she's been in more stuff than I have. Her name is Vera Taylor. Okay, and she's been in so many roles. She did Elders React she's still doing it actually for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's been in like 157 episodes, something like that. I
Wow.
lost track of how
That's
many.
wonderful. Great.
Oh,
We
yeah.
should have her on the show.
Did
Yeah.
you meet her?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really cool.
Did
You'd
you
like
meet her on set?
No, it's really interesting. I was actually asked to work on a film. It turned out to be a porno film, but I didn't know that it.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Now you're saving all the good stories for the end.
Yeah,
What happened
well,
here?
Of course, I always leave the best for last.
So how do you accidentally get on a porn set?
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
for
I was
sure.
working as an extra. Okay, but I worked on one show.
Extra in a
Last night.
porn movie.
And well, I got a phone call from the director, who
Mhm.
just so happens they wanted me for a movie. I didn't get to do anything with the the sex part of it. They
Well, I
just-
understand your wife wouldn't let you. I get it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, no, this was a movie, a short movie that was basically about a wedding, and they wanted me to be a wedding guest.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is this like Skinemax? Is this like soft porn, or
Yeah,
is
it
this
was-
okay,
Well, actually,
like a
that's what it
Playboy
was.
sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they called me up. They said, and my wife answered the phone. Normally, I pick up the phone,
Mm-hmm.
and so
She better know that.
yeah. And so they asked me, well, she gives me the phone. They asked me, do you want to be in this movie? And I said, sure, why not? What the heck? The pay's good,
Yeah.
and so forth. And so they said, by the way, who was that answered the phone? I said, oh, that's my wife. They said, oh, would she be interested in being in our movie as well? And I said, okay, why not? So I gave her the phone, and she says, well, I don't know about this, but I'll give it a shot. And she's been acting ever since.
Oh wow! So
She's
you created a monster. You're the one
I
that
created
actually
a monster. And she's got more credits than I do. She
Right.
gets more play than I do.
You're
I mean,
like, oh no.
Magazines are calling her up, asking her to be on the cover of magazines.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she a younger woman? Is that what's going on?
No, she's older.
She's okay. So
She's older than
I
you?
like older women.
age of
She's older than you?
Yeah, she's older than I am. Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
good for
Yeah.
her. Yeah, no, I'm all about older women. It's yeah. Once a woman hits 60, then I'm suddenly attractive. I don't know what it is, but
You have
I
to wait till
understand.
you're
I do.
60.
Yeah.
but Paradise Hotel, you work with some of our friends, Donnelly Heising, who has
Yeah.
been on our show before, Mel Novak, who's been working since the 70s,
Right.
and it's been winning a lot of awards.
Yes. Yeah, I was really lucky to get those two to work on this film. I mean, I was just so amazed.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Joe.
Joe Williamson,
Joe
the
Williamson.
manager.
Yeah,
Oh,
shout out
right,
to him,
right.
too.
Yeah.
Because that was really wonderful that they were willing to work on this.
She's nice.
And Paradise Motel, it's pretty interesting in the sense that it's about a battered wife who is escaping, trying to find her own paradise.
No, I get it.
And she doesn't find paradise. She finds that paradise is not always what it seems to be.
Oh no.
Nothing is what it seems. And so a bunch of people try and kill her.
Oh my god, this
And
poor
I
woman.
play the husband chasing after her. Donna plays the wife.
Right.
Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
chasing after her, trying to get my money back that she stole from me. Okay?
This seems to be a recurring theme too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
isn't
That
it?
women steal money from
Stealing
you.
money
Yeah.
from him. Does this happen to you at one point?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe there is a pattern here. starting to wonder about this. I should talk to my therapist about that.
Right.
Anyway,
Talk to Dr. Phil.
I was
yeah,
thinking-
there you go, Dr. Phil. You
You keep writing these weird scripts where your wife's getting beat up. Maybe you're thinking about your ex-girlfriend. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see if we can get you on the cast for Dr. Phil now.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. But no, I'm
she
saying.
kills me in the show. She does kill me in this.
Oh, now I was going
Yeah.
to watch it. So.
That's half the fun.
How grisly is it?
Not too grisly.
Okay, good.
I was trying to, be a film noir type arrangement,
Right.
so it's dark, but at the same time not too gory. I didn't want to make it that gory because I didn't want to lose the whole idea of the thriller itself.
Right.
And the ending is kind of
Ambiguous?
Well, that's ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads on to the sequel, which I'm working on now. In fact, I just got done finished writing the script, and now I'm looking for funding, and I already got the actors lined up. Donna's back in it.
Great.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
But you're not going to be in it.
Or
no, are you?
I'll
You
be
got
in
killed,
it.
right?
Yeah, I got killed, but there'll be flashbacks.
Yeah.
So I get to be in
right.
the flashback.
Well, it's
So, I'm just pulling a Hitchcock.
Yeah.
You need every film that you're involved with.
Right,
One way or the other.
well,
Yeah.
if you need a big guy to be one of her lovers, you could cast right here. Who knows?
How about a bouncer?
A bouncer. I'll be a
There you
bouncer.
He looks like a
All right,
bouncer.
I'll be a bouncer. Yeah, I'll bounce you. Especially, if it's a flashback scene and you're terrorizing your wife, I'll bounce you right out of it. But
No.
how exciting was it? I'm sorry, Walt. You were going to say
I
something.
was going to say that it's called Hell's End. It's called Next Stop Hell's End.
Next up, Hell's End.
And it takes place mostly in a strip club.
Oh, wow.
So there's a different theme there. So
Well-
Oh, they got a role for you
Very
too,
slowly.
Nicole.
Hey,
There you go.
I know, right? I could be the waitress. She'll be the
Nicole is shaking her head no.
I'm
She's shaking her head
All
no.
right, you can be one of the waitresses. That's fine with me.
Jan, well, how exciting was it when the last time we were hanging out was a few weeks ago, and there was not one but two movies that you starred in that were on the big screen:
Oh, yes. We had a double feature.
Liza the Wicked Warden and Beyond the Gates of Hell.
That was so much fun. I think I was just amazed as how we were able to pull that off, I guess. The director and everybody, the whole group.
Directed by Dustin Ferguson, our friend.
Yes, he
Former
was
guest.
able to pull it all off, along with Eric, who's helping us, and just everybody. And yeah, I thought it was just great to see.
Because
it.
you're the protagonist of Liza the Wicked Warden.
Yes. Yeah, I go undercover to find out what happened to my sister.
Right.
So I go undercover and basically end up in jail, in an orange suit,
Right.
in prison.
Right.
So, yeah.
Terrorized by men and women alike, whipped,
Yes.
almost assaulted, and
Yes.
luckily you got to kill me, and so you didn't get
Oh, yeah.
assaulted. And
I did.
and-
That was my favorite part.
that was a lot of people's favorite part. There were
got
big
to kill
cheers
you.
when I got killed.
Yeah, everybody this year in the theater, I heard everybody
Yeah.
was like,
Oh,
yeah!
yay, he's not in the movie anymore. Good. Okay.
Yeah, everyone was excited.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
That was that. To be fair, that's when you really show your strength, and that's where the whole tide turns, and you really lead the charge against the
I was
evil
able
warden.
to fight back finally, and
Yes.
it was amazing. It was amazing to be a part of that whole thing.
And then I didn't know you were in Beyond the Gates of Hell.
Yes, I play the daughter,
Yes.
so that was cool too. I play the daughter of my two preppy. I would say they were kind of preppy.
There was
Parents.
that was the thing, because it's like they're very white bread,
Yes.
and you're not.
Well, I'm from the previous marriage, or perhaps I was adopted. But
Okay.
I'm there for her.
Right.
I was like, yes.
Definitely.
Definitely my mom. Maybe that's why my dad didn't care. Did you notice, like, throughout the whole movie, my
He
dad
didn't care
really-
about a lot except for the maid.
Yeah, the dad was like, he didn't care about me, but my mom was really worried. So
Right.
that's kind of
Right.
telling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see Nicole?
Yes.
Your mom looks whiter than Nicole in this movie. She looks so much whiter than Nicole. But yeah, so it
I
was.
had a hot mom and a hot dad.
They were pretty. They were, yeah. It
Yeah,
was.
my dad was hitting on me. No, I was just kidding. But that was afterwards. No, just
I'll
kidding.
bet he was. But we could talk all day.
I know this is bad.
This is
I'm
so
just
much.
joking.
This is so much fun. No. Trust me, I'm sure he did. But Janet, what other? You got so many movies coming up. Actually, when you look at your IMDb, take out Going to the Bathroom. You've got so many
I might
projects
end up in that one. No,
in
just kidding.
2022 coming up. What do you have coming up?
Yeah. Okay. So I do have a multi-universe film series coming up, and that one, I do have a role already in it. I'm playing a woman named Soshi.
Okay.
I can't say too much. They made me sign something, but I am excited, and so that's gonna be big.
When they make you sign something, that's good.
Yeah, because it's a six movies deal.
Oh, that's great.
So it's gonna be 6 movies, and I'm in all 6.
Oh,
so
excellent!
Isn't that great? You 6 movies at once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's gonna be like a series, like.
Yeah, but I mean, you're contracted to.
Oh yeah, to be in these movies. Yeah.
Yeah, 6.
So that's like the most exciting one, and the rest I have a TV series, that I'm going to be a part of. It's Vice, and it's called. I'm not sure. So they switched me from Miami Vice to, because they have so many Vice, like New York Vice and all that. So they switched me over to another state. So now I'm not sure. I can't remember.
It's gonna be Pacoima Vice.
Yeah. But basically, I'm in one of those.
It's gonna be Chatsworth Vice. It's
right.
Gonna be, yeah.
One of those Vice. You know what I'm talking about? So so I'm excited with that. I just did a TV pilot where I play a detective, and so that's getting pitched. And so so many pilots.
You're on your way. It doesn't matter that you're doing Selena. You're getting tons of roles now.
Yes,
and I can see why, because you're very talented, and obviously based on today, you got plenty of personality.
Oh, I'm also in. I do want to mention this. We're filming this weekend. Dog Killer. Oh my gosh, Killer Dog Part 3.
Is this a Dustin Ferguson
yes.
movie? Okay, yeah. I knew it.
Gotta throw that one out there.
Dog Killer 3. No, but you light up a room. You're fantastic, and I've seen you act, and apparently you can cry on cue, or you can do all sorts of things. So the sky's the limit. If people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you?
That's great. Facebook, Janet Lopez.
Become a fan, yes.
Yeah, it's actor Janet Lopez or Janet Lopez actor, because both of them will come to me, and then
if you put Janet Lopez in Facebook, you'll get like
a lot. But Janet Lopez actor or actor Janet Lopez. Yeah. And then you can Google me, IMDb. If you have Pro, you'll get my info there, because I'll come up right away. I'm the first person when you Google me, and then you can do Instagram, JAYLAAXOXO.
And I've looked at that, and I don't know what that means.
Oh, so XOXO means hugs and kisses.
No, I got that.
Oh, J-Lo is just because.
So you like J-Lo, you're J-Lo.
A lot of people were calling me J-Lo because it's Janet Lopez, so they would call me J-Lo, Jennifer, and I just wanted to switch it up a little bit, and I was like, just call me J-Lo, because that way it's a little different.
Right.
Yeah, but they still call me J-Lo.
You can't get away from
You can't get away from
Selena, no matter what you do.
Yeah, they still do that.
No matter what you do. And Walt, you are a delight. How do people get a hold of you? And tell us how they can rent the studio, how commercial people can rent the studio, and what other wife-beating scripts and movies you have coming up. I'm kidding. I'm sure you have other things going on.
I do. I'm also working on a comedy, a rom-com, basically.
Thank goodness. It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time. I know. I have to switch it out a little bit.
Does she steal your money?
No, in this case, someone steals her heart.
Aww. But Walt, how do people get a hold of you, and how would people rent the studio?
Okay, you can go to my website, which is spheroidfilms.com, and
SPHEROID.
Yeah, that's it. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I was a spelling bee champ in 3rd grade, and it finally paid off.
Finally, right. And you can look up my name, which is W. Hochbrueckner, HOCHBRUECKNER, at yahoo.com, or you can find me on IMDb as well. And
there'll be only one.
There'll be only one. I hope. I hope.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's maybe this.
I have a nephew with the same name,
right?
Same middle initial too. Unfortunately,
is he an actor?
No, he's not an actor.
Oh, good. Because he go to SAG and get you kicked out. We wouldn't want that.
Start using your ID.
Yeah.
But before I go, what was the last video game that you played and that you enjoyed?
I played. Oh my gosh. Battlestar, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that ColecoVision? What Battlestars? What is that?
Oh, gee, that's an old game.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you like the old games? Me too. Like I got an Xbox, and like all the new games, I end up behind a door and I can't get out. But that's just me. But anyway, and Nicole,
Hello.
jet setter, yeah, Nicole's here. Anyway, so Seal must have been quite a wild experience because you've been very quiet for the show.
I've been talking
a little bit, but how do people get a hold of you, and how do they buy your book?
You can buy my book at lulu.com, Lulu.com.
That's Slow Burn, the poetry book.
Yes, Slow Burn, the poetry book. And then you can go to Instagram. I'm Nicole H. Or I'm sorry, that's my Facebook. Nicole on Facebook, I'm Nicole H6, and on Instagram, I'm Nicole6Books.
Yes, and there I am.
All right.
Go to Goth Comedian on all social media, and everybody have a wonderfully creepy week. Bye.
Bye.